We've got HasLabs that are live right now and ones to get excited about. But from the early response to the Star Wars one, is the HasLab model in trouble? We're going to talk about all of that and more tonight on Toy Geeks. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toy Geeks. My name is Jay, and with me tonight is none other than the Mad Hatter himself, in the middle of moving at the moment. You're living what every collector dreads, the day you got to move your collection. How you feeling, my friend?
This is the worst. It's God, I want to curse so bad, but I can't. So I'll just say it's like also like a weird thing of like you're it's like, remember like when you watch like a sitcom and it goes through like clip shows of like,
Yes.
like
Yes.
it's like one of those like where they just clip stuff together. It's like a weird like this is your life, but with toys. You know what I mean? It's like, and I'm going through back in time and I'm like, oh wait, I like collected this and like it's this. Why did I buy this? I would never buy this now. And it's just like just uncovering the secrets of the past, like an archaeologist. So it sucks, but persevere. Okay, there could be worse things, like not moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Moving on to better, bigger and better things. But what's the weirdest thing you've like pulled out of some nook and cranny somewhere in the house?
The weirdest thing?
Yeah, or the most out of left field, whatever. It's like, wait, I bought this.
I had there's like a weird delay. Sorry about that, Jay. I had a maybe this is like apropos to what we're doing now, but like it was like Force Unleashed, where it was like these like Star Wars like stylized statues. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
I found like a Mace Windu and an Emperor, and I was like, I guess there was a time. I mean, I used to be big into Star Wars toys, and then I just stopped. I don't know. Like at some point, I just got out of it. But I found that. So this is just all stuff that's just gonna go in a bucket and get sold or something. So yeah.
No, I had those Unleashed ones too, and there's some good ones in that mix, and there's some not so good ones, but I definitely picked up those.
Yeah.
But you're right, though. I was a much bigger Star Wars collector than I am now, and we'll talk about it more when we get into the HasLab. Let's say hello to the chat. It's hopping as always. And then Hatter, if it is a little delayed on your side, no worries. Just like when it's your time to go, and I'll try to accommodate to you as best.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
possible.
I don't know what's going on right now, but something's spiked. But yeah.
No worries. Just chill. It's a chill. People talk about J time. This is about as J time as it gets. 24 hours late from when we usually do the stream, but relatively on time on a Monday night. We got Justin Moen is here. Free Reign, Steven, Dartherium, Master Splinter, Tony Taponi, Christopher is in the house. Mint with card. Free Reign, Tony Johnson, Rabbit McGavin, Daryl Robinson is here. Thomas Crosby, Slave Talea, Ian is here. Matt Bush in the house. Allison Troy, researcher for Toy Geeks Pod, crushing it on the podcast. Let's see. I think I did Master Splinter again. Wheel Joker is here. Peak Obi-Wan is here. We lost Hatter. Hopefully he'll get back in a second. Let's see. We got Johnny Cock in the house. Geek Dole Life. No Dole tonight. But this week on the Toy Geeks podcast, I'm pretty sure he is the guest on that one. And then we've got let's see, Toy Geekosaurus, Stygian is here, Deadheads, Cone Killer, Confuser, Video Power Gaming, Rock Ghostbusters Firehouse confirmed. We'll see about that. Rock Nerd Radio, Ashnod, Gades Toys, Brian Carr, and so many more. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We've got a couple more here on our bottom. We got ATX, Jamelin, Soulcraft, Cone Killer, Confuser. Okay. Matt Hatter is back in. We got on the cell phone, baby.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Like everything's crapped out on me. So
no worries. It's your home. Your current home is ticked off that you're leaving.
I know. It's like the ghosts of this house don't want me to leave. So it's okay.
Yeah, I'll do it like this, so you're a little bit closer, and so we're kind of. There we go. But anyway, the reason that couldn't do yesterday is this kind of goes back to when I covered or helped YHS cover the premiere of Ghostbusters. My kids were so jealous. It was during a school week, so they couldn't, do anything really. And I was like, oh, it's gonna be Ghostbuster Day at the Firehouse. So then for Zach's birthday, he wanted to go to New York City, go to the Firehouse, and be a part of the Ghostbusters Day festivities. Had an absolute blast. I'll talk about it more in After Dark. Colleen's going to be joining me for After Dark. We're going to talk about our New York City adventures, which includes almost getting killed by a Ecto-1. So, yeah, it was those things can impale you. And Zachary almost died. So we'll share that story.
Wow. Okay. I'm glad you're alive. Okay.
Yeah. I was fine. It was more Zach was just in the. Well, again, it's a Patreon exclusive. Come be a patron, and we'll share that story there.
Be a patron. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Hatter, you're a patron.
I am.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
Maybe for a long time.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
You gotta support your friends. If you can't support your friends,
it's not life. Life's all about.
Exactly. Everybody, since this is an off cycle or kind of off day stream, please hit the like button. Make sure everybody knows that we're going on tonight.
Yeah, we're off cycle, guys. We're off our cycle. Okay, I'm late. I'm late, everybody. Okay.
Oh!
Jay, I got some bad news.
Oh, God.
Okay, I don't know, but
At this point, I think that would be bad news. Sorry, Colleen. I'm good. But, whatever happens. But I think I would be pretty upset. Justin says you need some gold chains with the Adidas jump. It's looking really sharp, my friends.
You know what, dude? I am. I will say the Arab in me. People don't know I'm Iraqi. It comes. Sometimes I dress like something out of like a GTA thug. Like just every GTA mobster thing. Like I don't know what it is. I just have to go back to my bro roots. And just rock the Adidas. You know what I mean?
Listen, it's fitting. It looks good. Or as the kids say, it's a good fit. I think that's what they say. I don't know.
Who knows?
People are saying Hatter equals pregnant confirmed. So you heard it here first, folks. All right. Let's jump into this this HasLab. Hatter, I lose track. It's all a blur. Maybe you talked about it on Jonathan's stream or something. But where were you on when the leaks came out for this thing? Like the images kind of leaked of the HasLab Cantina set. Kind of what were your feelings at that time?
My feelings at that. Okay, I am self-professed. I'm just not into as big into Star Wars nowadays, but I do admire Star Wars from afar. And Cantina's classic Star Wars. So if I was into anything Star Wars, it would be that. But the thing that kind of throws me for a loop, and maybe it's just that I don't know, is the 3 3/4 scale. Is it that popular that we need to get a Cantina in that scale? Like I would think, wouldn't it be a slam dunk even if it was smaller, like Black Series Cantina? Maybe they did that already. Okay, I'm coming in with probably 20% of the info of your avid Star Wars fan, but I was just kind of like, nah, you know what I mean? I don't know. And I'm just also trying to think of if I just don't know the popularity of that scale. Is it popular enough to justify a $4 to $5, what is it, or $3 to $4 or $500? Isn't there
up to 500? It's $399, $499. Yeah,
that's a spicy meatball. So and I don't know what it's at. My prediction, and this is well, we'll get into that, but yeah,
we have Brian Brink's charts. So don't worry, master of the charts, Brian Brink.
Sure.
Has made charts for this. And I will say, Hatter, it's this chart's not looking as good as your Flipboard chart. Let's just say that much. Okay?
Well, I mean, the ask is just a little bit more.
just a touch
more.
But I will say Rick Jones, Cantina is a dream set for TVC fans. And I will say, I believe Steve, who now runs the Star Wars team at Hasbro, basically kind of put Star Wars collectors into two camps. You have the diehard collectors trend to TVC. Like there is a core TVC base that buys, these figures, right? So that's one. And then for Black Series is your more casual Star Wars fan collector. So and so they kind of live in different lanes a little bit, but there's definitely a strong enough fan base, I think, for a TVC and for really any play set, I think would do well or have enough demand for it. That being said, this is pretty much what the leak showed, right? It was a grainy image. It was like a picture from a cell phone off of a computer screen. So it wasn't, it didn't have any detail, but we basically had this look of it, this structure of it. And personally, and again, I get people, you can take a bunch of cool pictures with this, and toy photography is going to be great, all that kind of stuff. This still, I do not like the look of this at all. I don't like all this exposed, basically, structure to the set. It basically, you have to kind of get eye level with it in order for it to look good. And that to me, I don't know where you stand on playsets, Hatter, but that to me does not a playset make. But
I don't disagree. It's very, like the shots that they're showing off are overhead shots. How many people are going to display this in true overhead fashion? Do you know what I mean? And not many, I would guess. For me, play sets, I usually go shoebox. You know what I mean? It's like shoebox on top of shoeboxes, or like this as one big shoebox. But I guess people want the other side. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like this would be very difficult to display in the right way. And I how does the average person put this on a shelf? You know what I mean? I'm having a hard time.
Exactly. That's the thing, is you're kind of you're missing and I started here so I could come back to it. Or maybe I missed it. I think it was Flash. I think you said no lights, no floor. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, no lights, no floor. There's no structure there's no bottom, there's no top. Like you were saying, a shoebox, which we made fun of on the NECA set, but at least there is this structure that you could plug into so that it doesn't matter what shelf you put it on, it's going to look good, right? Like it's going to, it can stand on its own. But this seems like you need basically another diorama to kind of make this thing look good.
I agree. And for what it's worth, I think the criticisms on the NECA side was the cost. You know what I mean? I don't think many people had a problem with it being a shoebox. I think shoebox is a fine way to go. But this is just hell, man. Even Eternia, as big as that is, you can separate it into parts and flush it up against the wall. You know what I mean? Like this is just so. Yeah, there's no floor. There's not anything that's unifying this. It's just a lot of floating pieces out there, and it's kind of pissing me off the more I look at it. It's just I'm just having a hard time. I don't know why they didn't I'm trying to think. Was it Lego that did a Cantina set? And I remember that was kind of cool, but that had obviously that's small. It's small. Well, it's for a smaller scale, but it felt like it was a complete building or a structure. This just feels like it's just a lot of disparate pieces.
Yeah. And I just, again, I know for a fact there are fans of this, right? Like there's fans of whatever this thing is providing. But to me, $500, I kind of want it to be able to stand on its own. And it just, this doesn't. This looks like a really elaborate and cool toy photography piece.
Yes, but even then, you need a floor, and you need
yes,
you need stuff. At $500, I wanted to have everything that I'm ever going to need.
And then Riley Bob, or who said it, asked me to pull up the Lego Cantina. So let's look how Lego did it.
Let's go to see the Lego, please.
But see this, like, give it a roof. I don't want to play. I just want to look at the thing. Thank you, Lego. But like, give it a roof. Give it a sense, like, and it basically still captures the same thing. I don't know. Don't stop asking me for a survey, Lego. But it accomplishes the same thing, but gives it a far greater sense of space, of scale.
Yeah, but and look at how they even had the, like, go back to that other photo. Like, you see how you can just kind of like expand it out and just have the bar just kind of float. Like, I don't mind.
Yeah,
if
it's
the
like
bar,
one side of it's flipped out. Yeah.
Yeah, like floats out, but like this is structurally really cool. And again, I'm not even like a customer on this, something like this, but like this is just feels more, I don't know, for $500, like dude, $500. Like, I want to feel like I it's like gotta feel complete. You know what I mean? I want to finish for $500.
You're right. And I think you brought it up earlier. The Eternia was what, 500, 550 probably after shipping.
Yeah, this is like the same price as the Eternia.
Yeah.
like that's wild. That's a wild cost.
Yeah.
I know the Star Wars license is expensive, but come on, man.
Well, especially when just last year you had a Ghost that was at 350. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. 350, maybe it was 400. That was awesome. It was a massive ship with like multiple levels and had all these cool features and everything. Like, again, you could put it on a shelf and it looks awesome. You don't need anything else to make it work.
Right. Yeah. That Ghost, by the way, because you saw it at Comic-Con too. That's the first time I saw it. That was like a showstopper.
Absolutely.
Like that was like, I was like tempted. I'm like, I have no connection to this, and it's awesome. But like, yeah, even Frankie Rivera said like $150 more, you could have got Cat Slayer, and Cat Slayer is like a masterpiece. You know what I mean? It's like,
absolutely.
This just feels like, even the way it's presented in that photo. Here's just all the stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I don't know, man. The lack of a floor, just a lot of misses.
Blake from Toy Collector Magazine. I would trade 50 cups for a stage for the modal nodes. Yeah, I think in the stream they were bragging about all the cups. So is that, do we need? This is like Super 7 and there's 75 hands. Like, do we need this much?
Yeah, you know what? Toy companies, like, somebody really needs to, like, I don't know if like these companies have like what is it like when they make a movie or TV and they show it to a group, like focus groups. I don't know if they have like focus groups anymore, but like it's such a simple thing where somebody can tell you like, we don't need this stuff, or we don't need this many of this, or we like, and it's like, and because what inevitably happens is they miss the essential stuff, and then they go with like basic stuff that you really don't care about. I don't know, man. I think I could even get excited about this from afar. I don't have to be a customer, but if it just felt like this was like, this is in a weird place. Like, I wouldn't even call it a play set. It's like a half a diorama something. I don't even know what to call it.
Yeah, and to me, I will say this. For those that want it, I'm happy for you. I think that's great. It's not doing great, but it'll probably still at least hit the 8,000, and it'll probably get unlocked. So for those that want it, I think you're going to get it.
I think this makes it.
Yeah.
I think if it's in 2 days, it's halfway through, right?
Yes.
And that's enough momentum. You got to figure, but it's going to be 8. It's going to, like, if it makes, it's going to be right.
Exactly. It'll be, like, I don't think this thing, and again, we'll look at the Brian Brink charts to see how it's pacing compared to other Star Wars Haslabs.
I don't think you're getting Mephisto.
But let's talk about the figures at least. I think Dole was on when we talked about like the potential. I think the figures are great. There was I think Jace came up with it, but no Tonica, Wegonica. So we got the Tonica sisters are here. We got the Barkeep, we got the Wolfman guy, we got a new Greedo. So we've got good figure releases in this. But I personally, if this was an Ewok village, if this was a Death Star or something, I think I would have been in. But now, well, for starters, I'm worried about whatever the Death Star could be if this is what their Cantina is. But just the Cantina just doesn't move the needle for me personally. It just doesn't. I'm good. I feel currently no figure FOMO, not a drop of FOMO.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you would, or I thought you wouldn't, rather. Would this move the needle more, do you think, in the 6-inch scale? I know people are saying it would be wild at the 6-inch scale, but, like, I don't know. I think of Cat's Lair and how big that was, and, you know, like, that's such a space commitment. I don't know. I feel like you could make somewhat of a Cantina at that scale. I mean, it'd be gigantic, but, like, I think it'd be just enough. Like, or do you think this should have been vintage collection like scale the whole time?
I personally, I think for Star Wars, do the 3 3/4 inch, right? Because I just think that the whole point of that is the world building, right? It's what I love about the vintage Star Wars is Power of the Force. I mean, every Star Wars, and it's why I pretty much gave up on Black Series. Just like I want ships, I want play sets, real play sets, and even more recently, that Jabba's throne room thing, that looks great. It has a roof. It has a floor, pretty much. Like, it has a full set space that can be filled out. And this just doesn't have it.
Is the formula that nothing sells better than ships and vehicles? Because that seems to be, if I'm looking, and maybe I'm wrong, but if I'm looking at a pattern of success of like HasLabs, and it doesn't just have to be Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
It could be G.I. Joe, but like vehicles and ships, I think I feel like that's where the money's. I don't know if that's an oversimplifying way to like crack this code, but like, does anything sell better than that? You know what I mean? Like play sets, I feel like they're a harder sell than a ship or a vehicle. Or I don't know. Like, do you feel like the same way?
No, ships for sure. Ships for sure. I think drive people the most. But I think Gatey's Toys sums it up really well here. It's definitely a long time coming, one of the most requested, but still didn't quite hit the mark. That's how I feel like it's like close but no cigar. And let me plus in some chats here. We're seeing thoughts on all the sides. Thomas goes to nostalgia.
And I get that people are saying the Robbie Reyes car. I understand that, but that's also way overpriced. So for essentially what's a car, you know what I mean?
Car, and I just don't think the character was like had enough fan demand. Yeah.
Like if it was, I think of like Johnny Blaze or Danny Ketch when I think of Ghost Rider. Okay, like I think a lot of people my age do. Okay, Robbie Reyes is sort of like a new-ish, right, in the Ghost Rider, the like mythos. So that's another thing. It's like I looked at it, I was like, who the hell is Robbie Reyes? You know what I mean? And I admittedly have been out of the game for a while, but like I can't be the only one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thomas goes nostalgic, $5 super chat. Thank you, Thomas. They will never make all the characters to fill this. People will have to go back and buy old Power of the Force figures. Oh, absolutely. But again, luckily it's relatively the same scale. They'll look good when you put it all in there.
They'll be all buffed out though.
Yeah. That's part of the charm. Brick something. Now look at the Kenner Death Star and Star Destroyer Star Wars places aren't like Castle Grace. So I understand that, Brick, completely. But even Death Star has floors. It has an outer side that looks, I mean, it's not, doesn't look like the movie, but it looks like a piece of the Death Star. Like people have bought a whole bunch of the Star Wars, the the Death Star playsets. You can basically make a full circle, and it looks awesome. Like this just doesn't even do that. It even the top of this thing didn't even try to like finish like the roof of it. It's just like kind of an unfinished plastic.
Right.
You can see the gaps in it or whatever, and it's just like, that's a miss. That's a no for me, dog.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Josh Baskin from Big wanted his stuff not to turn into a building. He wanted it to turn into a vehicle or a car. Okay,
or a bug, I think.
Josh Baskin, shimmy shimmy coca buck. Da, 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 da. No, I used to know that whole song. Now
well, we were in New York City. I took the boys to FAO Schwartz for the first time. We did the piano.
Oh, you do the piano thing?
We did the piano. It was fun.
That's a moment. That's a fatherly moment.
Yeah, it's like, you got to do it. You got to do it. But anyway, yeah, to me, it's just, it's a miss. It's a miss. Let me plus in this chat on the, other side of this, Slave Delay. If you love world building, why don't you like this? It allows you to build out a whole world on whatever shelves we have. I don't mind that, but then it's the $500. I just feel like I'm not getting a $500 set. I just don't. This is like, well, I mean, if you had to put a price tag on this, Mad Hatter, what would you put on it?
Me? I don't want to offend anybody, but I'd say even as a fan, I'd be like $275 or something. You know what I mean? Like, just from what I'm seeing here, I don't think I'd go over that. It doesn't have that wow factor,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the problem for me. Like, people are like, oh well, and I get it. I get this. Are you doing like Josh Homme? Is it Homme? Damn. Including a floor would have crippled the modularity. Not everyone had deep shelves. You can set up like on camera film set, which means it's perfect for setting up little scene and masterpieces. I get that completely. I understand that approach to it, but not at $500 or $400, depending on which one you get. Like, it's just not. It doesn't, like, $500. You need to be a showstopper. You need to be something that blows you away.
Yeah, I would even argue it's $300. It's got to be a showstopper.
Yeah, with all the figs. Like, say you unlock all the figs or whatever, then maybe. But it's just too much.
Yeah.
And Master Splinter, I agree. There's just no wow factor. Like, oh, that's neat. Yeah. That's not what you want with a HasLab. It needs to be like, oh crap, this is okay. Even if I like say Cat's Lair, I have a vintage Cat's Lair. Everything looks great. Like, I have a good Thundercats representation in vintage. I have the Thunder Tank, and I have most of the core figures from Super 7. But normally I wouldn't get it, right? But then you look, both of us saw that thing at Comic-Con, and we're like, holy crap, I have to have this.
Yeah, that thing had presence. That thing had just had a wow factor. I honestly, I know somebody had mentioned, a few people mentioned, didn't I say the same thing, a TMNT layer? Mm-hmm. I did. It just did not have it. There's a wow factor that you need. There's a factor. It's an indescribable, it's like when you hear stories about somebody came in and auditioned or something, and like, oh my God, they had the it factor. Same thing. You know what I mean? It's just like, you saw that Cat's Lair, people were around it, people were buzzing, people were like, same thing with the Ghosts. And again, I'm not even a Star Wars person.
Ghosts, it was like the Beatles had been on the floor. Like, when they brought it out, the whole booth was swarmed with people.
Yeah,
like, it was crazy.
Dude, everybody, I spent like 10 minutes just looking at it, just looking at all the little pieces. Same thing, but it has to have like just that wow, like just that, and I said the same thing about the NECA Lair. It didn't have like the wow. This doesn't feel like it has like just that amazing. I don't know, man. If these HasLab pieces, which are getting more and more expensive, they just gotta like just do something. It's got to be sexy right out the gate.
Yes. And that's it. Like, I get it. If cost of doing business goes up or whatever, I get it. Then you got to make whatever it is be like, holy crap. Exactly. Even if I'm like, I wouldn't get this normally. This is so crazy. This is something that's like a USS Flag, but in the modern equivalent. I gotta, if I can make this work, I gotta have it.
Yeah. I like Marty McWifi. She goes, I had a wow factor when I saw this. I said, wow, $500 for that. That's a good.
I will say, yes, Allison Troy, ever the researcher, even not for this show specifically, she brought up how she brought up some of the adjusted for inflation costs for this. So
Don't believe anything Allison says, though.
What's that?
Don't believe Allison. Trying to trick us with her ways. No, I agree.
So the Kenner Creature Cantina in 1978 was $8.99. Creature Cantina, $8.99.
$8.99.
What do you think that is in modern dollars?
What is $8.99 in modern dollars?
Yeah, adjusted for inflation, 1978
I'm
to
gonna
today.
look real stupid here because I don't understand inflation. I don't know. Is $80?
I mean, it's half of that, but yeah, $42.
Okay, all right. Yeah,
Kenner Death Star, $17.99, which is significantly larger than the Creature Cantina was kind of small for whatever, but $17.99, 1978. What do you think that is? Now you probably do the.
Well, now that you kind of adjusted the math, well, I forgot the prior amount, but $60. I don't know, 50, 60.
$84.99 adjusted for inflation.
All right. Math isn't my strong suit, Jay. Okay.
It's okay. It's okay. Original 5 POA figures were $1.99. That equates to $9.30 adjusted for inflation. But yeah, not even close. She said the closest comparable toy would be this 1979 Barbie Dreamhouse, fully furnished, was $97 for $411 adjusted for inflation. But that thing is massive compared to whatever this is. So even like adjusting for inflation, it just doesn't,
No, you need the wow factor.
Doesn't have wow factor. Slave Delay, I'm only backing the Cantina for the Tonica Sisters. I never expected fans could not be excited for the Cantina. I think people would be fine with a Cantina, but this isn't driving excitement. It just isn't. It isn't.
No, this also feels like it's just mining the
IP.
Yeah, it's just mining the IP. It's like the Rancor. Like just felt like it was by rote. Like,
sure.
All right, we got to come out with this now. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, and that's not like, oh my God, I need this.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Like, is there
okay.
Yeah.
Let me put up a poll. What do you think I should ask? Like, are you getting this? Yes or no? Like, what should the poll be as we ask people?
Or
does this have wow? Is this exciting? Like, I think we can all agree it's not exciting, but are we getting this? Yes or no? Or what do you think?
If it's yes or no poll, or like something about like what would you pay, or no? But I guess that's not a good poll. Like, what's a good, like, what should this cost?
It's too late for that. We're already
it's too late for that. Maybe just a simple like.
Yeah, all right. Who's gonna buy it? Who's going to buy?
Who gonna buy this thing? Okay.
Star Wars Haslab.
Yes. Are you buying it? Are you buying it? No.
Start a poll. Well, the poll is now live. Please feel free to put your vote into the poll. We have almost 400 people watching right now, even on an off night. Thank you so much, everybody, for jumping in.
Yeah, boy.
But let's look at the charts. Let's check out Brian Brink's charts. Let's see how it's doing there while everybody puts their thoughts into the poll.
Let's go to the master, the maestro.
Yes, Brian Brink, master of the charts. And it's not looking great. So this blue line is the Razor Crest. And this orange line is the Ghost. So last year's.
Uh-huh.
And this red line right here is the Cantina.
Oh no.
So yeah, do we need to give it an official hold on, I got a little bit of
oh man. Is the Rancor on here?
Rancor is not, because it didn't
Oh, it's gotta make the
Now you do have the sail barge, but that was the first one ever, so it's numbers. That's this brown line right here.
Got it.
So it needs to at least hit this line right here. And I'll post a link in the chat if you want to look at this at home. But you just go to geekdadlife.com. The Brian Brink's charts update in real time there. You can just go to the website. And I think we still have yours up there, good sir. Yeah, we still have the Hatter Toys chart. And then you can click on it and then go to the HasLab chart. But it is not pacing great, right? I think if you factor in a decent last day bump, it's already 52% funded. I think it unlocks, like we said, more than likely. But are you getting Greedo? Are you getting Neighboring Leads? Are you getting Ariel Shoes? I don't think so.
Yeah, you're not. What's the first thing that it's unlocking? What's the
Greedo at 11,000.
Oh, they put Greedo as the first one,
right? And we've got a whole bunch of.
There's got to be a million of them, no?
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's mean. That's just mean. That's a little messed up. And what's the highest tier? What's the
Ariel Shoes. That must be some character that I don't know whose name is, but
okay.
Let's look over here. Hold on. Let's pull them up. Bad at the names. Smart. There we go.
Little Mermaid.
Tonica Sisters. It comes with Tonica Sisters. At least they gave you the Tonica Sisters with it. Okay. Oh yeah, Wolfman.
Oh,
I would hate to not. God, that's a good figure.
Yeah,
I don't think I don't think we're getting that.
No, that Wolfman's dope too. Look at him.
Yeah.
So portly.
Yeah, he looks great.
Damn it.
And then, yeah, Neighboring Leads. This guy. At 14,000, I would say the likelihood of getting these as it's currently pacing is not great.
You ain't getting those guys. You're probably not even getting Greedo at this point.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, at best, I think this scrapes by.
Yeah, I don't see it happening now. Dude, even my friends that are into Star Wars were just kind of like maying this thing. You know what I mean? So, like, and these are guys that it's like they went in on the Ghost, went in, you know what I mean? And even so, I just, I don't want to see it fail, but, I don't think it's going to happen.
It's a free market, right? Let the people decide.
Yeah.
And I think they are. I think you've gotten your diehard TVC people because it did okay day one, but now it's already starting to flatline, and you got to hope that you have a last day spike that can push it across the finish line. Yeah. But the thing is, a lot of those last day spikes are orders from toy companies or toy resellers and stuff like that. But if they don't see the demand for this set, I don't think you get the big last day spike.
No, I don't think so either. I think this is also, I don't know. Do you think that there's like a feeling like people have just kind of seen this already? Like not in this exact incarnation, sure. But like even when I'm looking at this, I feel like I've seen this. Like I feel like I've seen something that is similar to this, and either it's the pieces of this or the bar of this or the booth. You know what I mean? Like, and that, I get it. Now you get it all in one big gumbo, but like it doesn't have that, like, this is a new thing. This is like, you know what I mean? Like, doesn't have that.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. The Ghost got 21,000 backers when it was all said and done. And again, if people are thinking we're being a little negative on this, at this point, the Ghost and the Razor Crest were nearly already at 8,000. So even though it's halfway now, previous to TVC Star Wars Haslabs, we're already at the 8,000 threshold already.
Yeah, see, it's just like
And I know Dolers would be like, you need this, or you're not a Star Wars fan if you don't. But the other factor that we're not thinking about here, Hatter, is it's a shorter timeline. We're at 32 days, not the 45 days.
Oh, it is a short timeline, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
yeah.
How does that affect it?
Dole,
Less
is
time.
Dole going in on this? That's a good litmus test. Is Dole and his cult following going in on this?
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, Ryan Dole fan club. Are you getting this? Are you in the audience right now?
Yeah. Come on, Dolomites. Come on. Are you? Is the? I don't know, man. It might sputter out before the finish line. Who knows? Didn't the Rancor just like get within
right there, right there, this close, like within 100?
Yeah, I just cancel this and give me back my Cookie Monster. Cookie Monster got a raw deal, man.
Exactly.
Cookie Monster got a raw deal.
Give us another chance, Hasbro. Yes. I was a backer. I backed Cookie Monster.
Yeah, so did I. I think Cookie Monster, Hasbro, there should be a second chance. Cookie Monster, maybe this time he comes with some actual cookies. Imagine a jar of cookies with him. Like, just something. I think he needs another chance because I think, just to get off topic for a second, I think he got a raw deal for sure.
Agreed. Nostalgia Unbox, your best friend. A pod racing stadium would be cooler than this. A lot of things would be cooler than this.
Yeah, it's true.
Don't eat raw cookie dough though, but it's so good.
I know, it's delicious. I love it. I'm gonna eat some tonight.
I love getting the cookie dough that it's like you can eat this, and I'm like, perfect. But still, even if I couldn't eat it, I would eat it because it's so damn good.
I love when you eat the ice cream and then you just in the bottom notice you got a giant chunk of cookie dough. It's like the best, man. So it's like I take the whole day off and just nurse that.
Are you a chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream person as well?
Yes, I get cookie dough every time. Once cookie dough came out, it just negated every other ice cream flavor. I was a cookies and cream guy for like the longest time. Okay, but then once cookie dough came out, I was like, we're in the future now. Okay, and I just every time I go to Cold Stone Creamery, they go, "What do you want?" And I go, "What do you think I want?" And then they probably spit in my food. Who knows? But like cookie dough. Each time, Cold Stone Creamery. Remember my face.
I vividly remember the first time I had a cookie dough ice cream. And I just even the name of it was like, wait, hold on. So you're saying there's cookie dough in this?
And it's just dough. It's not
yeah, it's just like chunks of cookie dough in this ice cream. And then I remember biting it for the first time. I was like, holy crap, this is it. This is my future now.
Cookie dough. Everybody who knows what's up likes, other than people like probably like Johnny Nostalgia doesn't eat that. So he probably eats like sherbet or some crap. But everybody who knows what's up,
Johnny Nostalgia gets like a kid's cup of vanilla or something.
Yeah, no, he probably has like those icy push-up things. They're like 30 calories or something. He probably just has one of those at the exact same time every day because he's just like that anal. Ugh.
He has them laid out and he marks them for the day that he's going to eat them.
Like your grandmother with the how grandma's with the pill box.
Yes, exactly. Monday, Tuesday.
He's like, here's my Tuesday. I'm orange flavor today. God, what a nerd. Glad he's in the chat.
Dippin' Dots, love me some Dippin' Dots.
I do like Dippin' Dots.
There's a lot I love. There's again, all ice cream's good ice cream. It's not bad ice cream, but if number one is cookie dough for sure. Jalen Parks, he gets Skinny Cow vanilla. Oh man! All right, let's move on from this. Oh, we gotta talk about the poll. I'm so sorry. In the poll.
The poll.
So it was a simple poll. Are you gonna buy this? Yes or no? Hatter, where do you think this landed? Yes or no? What and then what percentage?
No, for sure. Okay. I'm gonna say no is at 80%.
Damn, that's really close. 79% said no.
Oh, there you
20% said yes, so it's probably like 79.5 or something.
Now I wonder if that 20% that said yes already backed it, and they're already in, or. I would hope for the HasLab that they have not backed it yet, so it could even bump up some more. But it
was 199 votes. I know the people at Hasbro check out Brian Brink's charts. They've said as much. at least all the Hasbro employees that I have talked to and befriended. I don't know anybody from the Star Wars side, but I would assume they're seeing the charts and, see how it goes. It is what it is. It's out there. I think it'll go through, but I would just say for next go round, I think it's just, if you're going to be a HasLab, you got to be a showstopper. Speaking of next HasLabs, Hatter, Hasbro, the Ghostbusters team, decided to tease their next Ghostbusters HasLab. And to be honest, this was kind of shocking to me. So, like I said, I was at not celebration, Ghostbusters Day in New York City with the family. We were at the firehouse. They had 3 replica Ecto-1s. They had the Ecto-1 from Answer the Call. There, 1 million people dressed in Ghostbusters gear with proton packs. They had Alessi, the band that did the song "Saving the Day." They were there doing a concert.
Song. I was just thinking of it.
They played that song. It was amazing. And then the guy who played the cop was there, and I think he wasn't. I didn't see him there. He came in later. The librarian guy, was there.
Wait, the guy that played the cop. Which cop?
It's like, don't tell me how to do my job, pencil.
The pencil neck guy.
Yeah, pencil neck guy. Yeah.
Oh man.
But he was there, and he was like really nice. He dressed up in the New York City cop uniform and everything. But anyway,
you got to hear a live rendition of "Saving the Day."
Oh, it's great. I shot video of it. I gotta post it. I gotta post it on the Instagram. But it was awesome. It was cool. Like it was. But my favorite part, and again, we'll talk more about it in After Dark. But was just seeing my kid's face like light up, because we got there before the Ectos got there, and then just all of a sudden down the street you see the Ectos with their sirens going off, pulling into the firehouse area.
He must have gone crazy.
Oh, it was. I mean, everybody went crazy, but for those kids, like it was just like this biggest smiles, biggest smile.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So I did not expect this. Like Colleen, she was just like, "Hey, they're giving out HasLab, Ghostbusters HasLab." So I was like, "Oh, they must have old stuff from the proton packs or the traps or something, like old HasLab stuff they're giving away." But then I see this sticker going around and buttons with the Ghostbusters logo with a wheel, a white wall tire, like on an Ecto-1, and the HasLab with the classic 59 Caddy fin on it. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess we're going to tease the next Ghostbusters HasLab.
Right,
which is going, I assume, is going to be an Ecto-1. And here's the thing, it's kind of wild. They just did a 3 3/4 inch scale Ecto-1, a Plasma Series 1. This month or so.
That's right.
So we can only assume this is gonna be a 6-inch scale Ecto-1 as a HasLab. What's your thoughts on that? The possibility of having a Plasma Series 6-inch scale. You're talking about, I think this would do better for 6-inch. Well, here you go. 6-inch scale Ecto-1 HasLab.
I mean, a 6-inch scale Ecto-1 with all the fixins.
Yeah, you got to have lights and sounds. Yeah.
With everything. And with a button that plays Saving the Day. Even someone like me who is I'm not an ardent Ghostbusters fan. I have my share of Ghostbusters stuff, but I feel like but it has to have everything. It's got to be classic. It's got to be classic, and it has to live somewhere between, like it can't be like the one that you could get at Target. It's got to really just like come correct with everything, and it's dare I say the equivalent of, like, do you remember, I think it was an official car, but like that Back to the Future, it wasn't a HasLab.
Yeah, the Tomy Back to the Future. Yeah, DeLorean.
I'm still regretting not go. Did you go in on that at all? Or
I did not, because I got the Hot Toys DeLorean. I have it up here. It's here now.
I
don't know what to do with it.
And I regret it. But to me, it's got to be like that level. It's got to be like that level of taking it serious. I'd be in, and it has to have some good tiers, or and not be in a wild price.
Yeah, I think, and we did a big stream earlier in the year when Hasbro basically weren't. I mean, they didn't put out any Plasma series toys, and I think one of the things we brought up is like, could you do a HasLab that kind of helps round out the toy line for you a bit? Like maybe, give us some of the looks for the characters. Maybe give us, a Janine Lewis Tully. Maybe give us a Slimer. We haven't got a Slimer yet, shockingly.
Yeah.
And this could do that. Like it could be that, showstopper 6-inch scale Ecto 1 with tiers that unlock, I mean, Slimer should be price of admission, but say Slimer, different, maybe GB2 suits, regular figures, a Janine or Lewis. But you know what would really make this thing be a slam dunk home run? Well, it has to be lights and sounds. Lights and sounds minimum. And saving the day. I think you're right. Maybe saving the day.
But you're saying you're asking what would make this a slam dunk?
I'm going to say it right now.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Ecto 1A conversion. So it can allow you to have the Ghostbusters 1 look and the Ghostbusters 2 look.
Do you think that's a great idea?
Because then you got people buying 2. Yeah, if they did that, I'm buying 2 because I want both looks.
Is it easy enough to do that? Is it easy enough to swap that out? Probably is, no?
Yeah, you just have a different roof attachment and then like a sticker sheet maybe?
Yeah.
But I would buy 2. I would buy 2 of them if you could
get 2 of those. Wow, okay.
If I could have Ecto 1 and 1A. What's that?
No, go on.
No, I'm just saying, like, if they could do that, lights and sounds, and throw in some figures that maybe round out Plasma series, if they're not going to do it beyond this, then I think this, again, we talked about how the Cantina didn't have the wow factor. That would get, I mean, just the fact they're doing it is wow, but like, give us both versions, give us some figures we couldn't get before.
Yeah, that sounds like a tier. Like with a pack
sure.
that can turn into that. What would be a perfect price for like a 1/6 scale? I can't imagine it would be under $250.
Yeah, I think $350 would be my guess. Because and the reason I say that is the Miller Meteor Cadillac Hearse ambulance conversion is it's a tank. It is. Have you seen one in real life before?
No. It's
probably, you could take one of those big Cadillac Escalades and it's probably longer than that. Like it's a long, big car.
Got it.
So it's not like the that Dodge Charger or whatever. Like it would be bigger than that easily.
Yeah, but it's funny. It's like if it has that wow factor. I know you, Jane. I know people like you and me. Like you'd pay it. You know what I mean? Like you'd pay the 300, and you pay. You know what I mean? Like the wow factor is a big deal. You know what I mean? So. I think you analyze the price a lot more when it does nothing for you. Then it's just kind of like, well,
exactly.
But if it had everything, then hell, I'm not a huge Ghostbuster collector. I have a few things. I have like the Lego Firehouse, but I don't go hard. I also have the Lego Ecto 1. But I would jump in on that. Also, you have those Mondo cartoon ones coming out. They look real nice next to those, and I'm excited about, RGB. So yeah, I mean, I think this might be danger for me too, which I was hoping it wouldn't be.
Can I just say something? I feel like, and again, Mondo is a friend of both you and I. But we're not paid. Yeah, it's true. You're right. F Mondo. But But we're not paid endorsers or sponsored by Mondo in any stretch of the imagination.
I wish.
Yeah, Peter, where's our checks? Come on, man.
Yeah, no, how about a free figure? But go on.
Yeah,
yes.
even a free figure for real. Help a guy out.
Yeah, I know.
But I think Hasbro, again, I don't know. Like, again, I know I've talked to Emily. We're friendly. But I haven't talked to her about this or anything. And they would never admit it, even if they could. But I would have to think they teased this so early. And maybe because it was just Ghostbuster Day, maybe that's just why. But I gotta feel like they teased this so early because they gotta be feeling like Mondo's stealing their thunder a little bit, maybe.
Oh, you think this is in response to that?
Maybe because like they weren't doing anything with it, whether they wanted to or not. You know, the Ghostbusters team I love, like I know they're fans. I've talked to a good few of them, really good people. They love the property. They want to do a lot of cool things with it. But for whatever reason, the higher ups at B or the retailers that need to buy this stuff didn't do enough for that. So I gotta feel like this is a bit of a play to like, hey, we're still here too. We still got Ghostbuster stuff too.
You might be right, but you know what? That's great because competition fuels better product and better stuff.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you feel like somebody's nipping at your heels, you might go, hey, you know what? Let's get back in the game. It's like I think that Storm Collectibles, once like Jada started doing like Street Fighters, if you notice, like Storm started like announcing a bunch of Street Fighters, you know, somebody was just kicking them in the ass, like, okay, I guess we got competition now. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Good. You know what I mean? So
yes.
I think if that's the case, great. That's how it should be.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So
anyway. Now here's a question just on that topic.
Sure.
If Mondo did a cartoon Ecto one, would you get that? Because you know that's probably what they're thinking at some point.
Absolutely. The key is if they can pull out the 6-inch scale thing, right? If it's 6-inch scale, absolutely.
That's a
I'm
new
in.
role for them.
I want Ecto 2, the helicopter. I want Ecto 1.
Oh, man.
I want it all.
Yeah.
Mondo has a blank check. Like it is a very rare blank check toy line for me. Which is dangerous. That's dangerous.
That is dangerous. You're like that. I'm gonna Photoshop you on the poster of that blank check.
Yeah, that is it. That is it.
Mondo in the background.
Like it is an all-time dream toy line for me. And so
really they got like one of the best designers doing it. So
exactly. Alex is incredible.
Yeah.
So it's a blank check toy line. Very rare blank check toy line.
Okay, so what do you think, going back to this HasLab, like, do you think this comes with like figures, like tiers? Do you think it's got to, right? Like,
it'll have tiers. I think people are saying maybe the conversion's a tier set. I think that makes sense. Maybe like tier 1 is the Ecto 1A conversion because you want to unlock that early so you get more double purchases. And then I think maybe you do some figure releases, like, you know, again, you could do the 4 Ghostbusters, but in the GB2 suits, and you have to have Winston without a mustache.
Right.
And then again, Louis, we were still missing. I guess we had Louis Tully, like as Vince Clortho, but like a different Louis Tully. And then we would need a Janine too, like Janine, Louis Tully, GB2 suits.
Has there? I'm not as kept up on the line. Has there not been a Janine?
No, not in the Hasbro one. No.
What if she has like, what's the actress's name? What if she has like insane likeness rights that she just?
It's like that's a great question. Annie Potts? I don't know if she would. She seems pretty reasonable. I don't know.
She's like, no, I don't put out my face for less than $100,000.
That was a really good Annie Potts impression, by the way.
What was that? Thank you. That's I've been it's kind of like a first crush thing.
Annie Potts, absolutely.
Annie Potts, like
she still looks great. She looks great in 70s or something. She looks fantastic.
She looks great. Yeah, I had like a thing for like weird. Even when I was a kid, I was like weird women were just like, I was like, you know, I don't know what it was. And she definitely was like up there. I want, you know who I want and nobody else wants him? I want that guy that I want to set up that scene in the beginning where Peter was messing with that one dude.
Oh yes.
Like I want that guy with his face like getting all pissed off, and then the hot chick that's like right next to it.
The effect. I'll tell you what the effect is. It's pissing me off. Well, then maybe my theory is correct.
I want to recreate that scene. Everybody wants the car and all that. Put the fire out. I want that scene.
You want their kind of just the shells with all the crap tucked into it.
Yes, that's what I want. And him dressed like a teacher. Okay, enough jumpsuits. I want him with the bad teacher outfit and messing with that one guy.
Oh my god.
Hatter was down with Kimmy Gibbler. Yes, I was. I will admit.
Same. Kimmy Gibbler? Yeah. Hell yeah. Come on. Yeah. Come on. All right. That's that. Okay, last thing, Hatter.
Yeah.
Oh, I got me go to the poll. I'm so sorry. I keep doing this. I keep doing the polls. This isn't a shocker, I would say. 54% said they would pay $300, the cheapest option. 31% said $350. How much did that dragon want? About $350. $400, 9% of you said, and then 5% said $450. So I think you got to be in the $300-ish range, even though Engine of Vengeance was $350, which was way too high. This is a bigger car, so I think it at least has to be $350, if not $399.
Also, I mean, this car is more iconic.
Way more iconic.
I mean, Engine of Vengeance. Let's just stop with like we're putting it like with the Ghost Drive. It was not like you bought that. In fact, I would say that even like most people that bought the Ramen Racer are not buying it for Engine of Vengeance stuff. They're buying it because they want like a real cool like it's not an Interceptor, but like whatever. They want like a badass car. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, but this is the Ecto one. Yeah, if it had all the bells and whistles and you could just display it just like that. I don't even need to get like all the figures. I just want to display it. So yeah.
Right. Exactly. That's the thing. Like if it looks good, you're gonna get people that don't even give a crap about the figures buying the car just so it looks good on the shelf.
I'll be honest. I don't like. I don't need. My jam was always like RGB in terms of like figures. Like I just don't really do movie figures that much. Like figures from like that are representations of films other than like Ninja Turtles maybe, but that's even cheap because that's more like because I like the Jim Henson aesthetic, you know what I mean? It's less about like the actors for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's where I don't know. I don't know if the Mondo 6.5 inch scale would work with this, but I don't know, whatever. Did we already go over figures? Kind of. I think we threw out a couple of different ideas. I think but whatever they do, it kind of has to be. It has to be stuff that they still haven't gotten to in the toy line. So Slimer, Janine, different suits.
Yeah, Ecto of Vengeance.
Ecto of Vengeance, exactly. Tony Taylor. But yeah, I think you go Derek Dalzell. I think go lower price but higher backers, and it'll back. Don't go 450 and 8,000 backers. Just up the backer count.
Have faith in your backers.
Exactly.
Don't make that mistake. That's a bit like price it. I would even say 3. Again, I haven't seen it yet, but like lower price, more backers.
Johnny Cock gifted 5 Geek Dad Life memberships. Thank you so much, Johnny Cock. It's very kind. And it looks like Gady's Toys became a member. Mike Davis became a member. Ray Deathray became a member. Thomas Crosby became a member. And Rick Jones became GDL members. So welcome to the GDL family.
I got family.
You got Jones. You got family. But I think the last HasLab for Ghostbusters got 20,000. So you can make a higher backer count, lower the price, lower the barrier to entry, and I think it hits easily.
Yeah. All of this HasLab stuff makes me sad sometimes, Jay, because I feel like in my lifetime I'm never going to see Temple of Doom HasLab announced with Mola Ram figure. Every time I think I only say this because like I was packing up like a bunch of my Indiana Jones figures, and I'm like, This line went pretty hard, pretty niche, and now it's over, and it's never coming back. Why is Indiana Jones so unloved? I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Like what? Why does why does everybody just take a crap on the greatest action adventure franchise probably ever in history? I don't know. Okay, but it just makes me sad. It's never going to happen. So I should just make peace with it.
No, here's the thing. Like I love Indiana Jones too. I do, and I have some of the vintage Kenner stuff. But here's the thing. Every single time, every toy company that has tried to do Indiana Jones, it falls flat on its face every single time.
Because I just don't think they do it right.
But I mean, how the original Kenner line was great. It had great play sets, had great character selection. Like they were good little 3 3/4 inch figures. Didn't do well. And then the next, I think LJN for Temple of Doom went slightly larger figures. They didn't look great, but those fell flat on their face. Hasbro for King of the Crystal Skull, I think they did a fantastic job with the 3 3/4 inch figures, vehicles, and I don't know if they got to.
I know, but they were working off like a movie that was a little shaky.
But so they did Raiders, they did other films. They didn't just do Crystal Skull, and those didn't sell well. And then you had this past summer where you had 6-inch scale figures, retro re-releases, and those sold horribly. And maybe, nothing to confirm this, but maybe the poor sales of those is why we didn't get a lot of Ghostbusters stuff from Hasbro.
Maybe.
Because those, and again, I thought some of the 6-inch stuff was great, just didn't sell.
You know what? I'm gonna figure it out, Jay.
You're gonna crack the code.
I'm gonna crack the code. I'm gonna do some math, figure out how we could. I'm gonna create a pitch deck for Indiana Jones, and I'm gonna bring it to Hasbro. Jay, you got some connections. Maybe you get me
absolutely.
in there. Let me do a pitch.
I could get you in touch with people. Probably. I don't know who I'd get, but yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna say, guys, I got a way. All right, because there's got to be something. There's got to be. I love those movies, and I don't want to rest until there's a Mola figure with a Temple of Doom playset, okay, and a little mine cart in the back of it, okay. That's what I'm thinking, and that's going to be my goal. I promise you, chat. I'm going to make this happen. Jay and we're going to make this happen. And I will say this, Jay. Maybe you put your channel on the line. If we don't make it happen, maybe we call it quits here. You know what I mean? But like, we just put some stakes into this and really just put both our collective power behind this. Because Indiana Jones, he's getting like a raw deal, and I'm getting sad every time. And I know that this year I'm going to go to Comic-Con, and there's going to be no Indiana. At least last year there was a little sliver in the corner.
Not a drop.
There's not going to be anything. I have a feeling, and I'm going to be sad, and my tears will just flood the Hasbro booth. So that's all I got to say.
Oh my god. Hey, one day, don't give up hope. Don't give up hope.
All right.
Let's talk about, I did not expect Playmates to ever re-release this. Not in a million billion years that I think they would bring back the Technodrome.
You didn't think so?
Not a chance. Because out of all the years of them re-releasing things, they've done that damn van 800 times since they've originally released it over the course of nearly 40 years. That thing has been, pumped out over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I did not expect them to do the Technodrome. They haven't done the Technodrome since the original one in 1990. I think it came out 91, 90 or 91, something like that.
True.
So crazy they're doing it. And it's great. I think it's fantastic. It's one of the more expensive vintage playsets to buy and to find. I'm fortunate enough to have a complete vintage one in my collection.
You got the old one, yeah.
Yeah. Right. I got it for my 5th or 6th birthday. It was one of my favorite toys as a kid. So Technodrome's near and dear to my heart, and I'm very happy for people that can get. It's not 100% like for like replica.
Right.
But can get a damn good looking Technodrome, a vintage looking Technodrome for $78 on Amazon.
Yeah. I think also that is the saving grace. Right? I know there's some people in the chat that were kind of like face palming, like, oh my God, I just got the original, the vintage. I think because this is not the same sculpt or reuse of the sculpt, that you're, for lack of a better word, safe. You know what I mean? Like you got something different. This is a replica. This is, I think there'll always be love for like the vintage, and you have just, I maybe part of it is that they didn't have the original molds or something like that, and maybe they had to recreate some of these things. Maybe that's part of it, but you will always have that little piece of history. I think this one is smaller for what it's worth. I am waiting for it. I don't know. Has anybody gotten this in hand yet?
We just got the images. They're only taking pre-orders. It does look smaller, and a lot of people are commenting on the size of the figures in the picture. One thing I will say, these look photoshopped in here. So we really won't know till we get it in hand, but it does look scaled down. I'm seeing a lot of people say like 10 to 20% smaller.
Yeah.
So again, I think for those that have the vintage one, have no fear. It's bigger and is, it's different enough. Like,
yeah,
it's the perfect, I think it threads the needle. If you don't want to spend $400, you got to something that it'll get you there. It'll get you there for $80.
And that's actually, dude, how, just as a concept, that's actually really cool that you could get something that is almost the vintage. Like, I would love if they did that with other things.
Yeah.
Like, you can get like a vintage looking cat slayer or something, and a really you have to, like, just the fact that this is even coming out. I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was like a joke at first. I was like, "There's no way," but then I was like, "Okay." I was pleasantly surprised. But yeah, I mean, I want the facade. You know what I mean? I want that iconic, shape with the. I'm probably not even going to open it. I just want it displayed with the
box art is great. At one point, I had a vintage sealed Technodrome. I bought it for $300. I sold it for $3,500.
Oh my God! What?
Yeah, I made a tidy profit on that one.
Wow.
And see, Colleen, these things do make money sometimes.
No,
Sure, I went and spent that $3,000 on other crap I didn't need, but that's not the point.
No, I thought that went right into your savings account.
Absolutely, went to the 401k. Absolutely.
It will be smaller. I have that. Some people are mentioning that this is smaller.
Yeah.
I don't know how much more, but like, there's been a lot of like talk back and people analyzing this. It's going to be smaller. So be prepared. But this is very interesting that comes out, because depending on how well this does, I think that this begins. I almost feel. And Jay, maybe I'm being too conspiratorial here.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening with Super 7 and their rights to Turtles. Okay. I don't know, but I have a feeling they're going to have them. NECA is doing their own thing. I almost feel like Playmates knows something we don't know, and there's going to be some kind of Technodrome, something or other, in the modern scale, either by one of these companies, or a room, or a play set that represents the inside of the Technodrome, or something. And they're like, get this to market now. That's, again, everything to me is, I feel like I know how these toy people work and how in their heads, because I'm just going like, why now? Like, why? There's all of this time has passed. Why now? And to me, the biggest motivator is always money. So I'm thinking they might know something that the rest of us don't know, and they go, get this Technodrome out in some incarnation now before SDCC. That's what I'm thinking.
Listen, we just talked about it with the Ghostbusters HasLab, right? Like, they're responding to, Super Set or sorry, Mondo. Again, we're speculating, but same thing. It's not a bad point, because if I'm Super 7, what do you do after Cat Slayer? You have the Turtles license. Give us a Technodrome.
Super 7 has to be thinking about that, or there's got to be blueprints in both those offices, the NECA office, the Super 7 office. Everybody's thinking of like Technodrome. I think the future is a very Technodrome-y future moving forward, and I'm scared. I'm scared, Jay. I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. That's all I'm saying.
I agree, and maybe I feel like I haven't heard much from Super 7 lately, so I kind of. It's been a minute since they've kind of done something, right? Or taken orders.
Although, I have my ear to the ground a lot. I went to Monster Palooza. When I went to Monster Palooza, I talked to some people that also have their ears to the ground, and people, they just whisper in this ear, and it doesn't come out the other ear. I plug up the other ear and I retain that info. And a few little birdies said that if you are a Turtles fan and a Super 7 fan, that you might be happy in the future. I
Oh, there you
don't
go.
have many more specifics than that, but you know, never count out the underdog, because the underdog has nothing to lose. You know what I mean? And sometimes the underdog goes for the big swings.
I
That's all I'm
agree.
saying. There might be a big swing that might make people go, yeah, you know what? You know, pencils have erasers. Maybe we should give another shot. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I'm saying.
I love it. I love it. And yes, I know Super 7 has been shipping a ton of product. And that's probably a better thing than keep bringing out. But it feels quiet on the announcement front, which usually means something's coming.
Something's cooking. Something's in the pot.
Yeah, for sure. All right, that's it. That's it. Out all the things. Mondo, their Mondo Gecko, and I think Mikey's going on pre-order tomorrow. Are you those Mondo Turtles? Are you getting any of those?
I am. I do want to say they're beautiful. I saw them in person. They are gorgeous. No, I'm not paid by Mondo to say that. In fact, I don't want to be in this line.
Same.
I don't want to be in it. But
Agreed.
They are really, I mean, I will say that they are probably doing the thing that is closest to Playmates now.
Mm-hmm.
For people that don't know, the Mondo will be an exclusive, and it might even be timed, but I believe it'll be exclusive to the Mondo site. So if you're thinking that you're going to get that on retailers, I don't think that's going to happen. The Mikey, I think, will be on retailers like the other one. So you can wait on that, or you get it. And Mondo has good payment plans, but dude, they're so good. Just in person, they're just so nice, just so vivid.
Paint's incredible.
If you don't really care about posing, you know, which to me, like I don't know. I'm getting, like, I have my stuff I love to pose, but then I have stuff that if I can just have purely aesthetic, they're just so good. So yeah, I think that's going up tomorrow's.
Yeah. So somebody gifted me the Leonardo, and now I'm dangerously maybe have to pick up more.
That is a mean gift.
I'm incredibly grateful and thankful.
No, but it's a mean.
But it is a I dare you not to buy more.
Exactly. It's a mean gift. It's like giving somebody like a puppy. It's like, now I got a responsibility. I got a whole thing. You know what I mean? So thanks a lot, guy.
It is like giving someone a puppy. It's
yeah. Hey, guy who did that, don't you dare gift me something like that, because I won't even take it.
Here's the thing, though. And again, I love Toy Shiz. Good friend of mine. You know Toy Shiz as well, right?
Yeah. He's a lovely, lovely boy.
Lovely human being.
Yeah.
But he got a set for Mondo to review. It's just like, Mondo, what do we got to do to get set to review around here?
Yeah, you know what, Mondo, if you're listening to this, really circle the wagons and take stock.
Yeah.
Who's like filling your coffers, okay?
Who's had your back?
Yeah, exactly. All right, because you know what? Don't take it for granted, because you know I don't know how the GDL bump works, but the Hatter bump is a very real thing.
It is.
But it can also go away in it, just like Kaiser Sose, just like the dust in the wind. So careful, Mondo. That's all I'm saying, right?
Oh my god. All right, that's it for this episode. Hatter, thank you so much for joining tonight, especially on an off night. And I know you're gotta be exhausted. Moving at any point in time is tough, but you're saying you've lived at your current place for quite some time, and every year exponentially makes a move tougher and tougher. So you gotta be exhausted, but hopefully end is in sight, or you got a good ways to go. Where are we at?
The end is near, guys.
Okay.
I think so. I think probably have like another week and a half, and busy with other stuff too. I got a Flipboard test shot in hand that is just beautiful. Okay, it's just yes, there is an interview. A fun interview, okay? If you know me, you'll see my cheekiness in this interview. What a weird combination this was.
Yeah,
right?
Pixel Dan and Hatter talking Flipboard. Now that's fun.
This is a weird. Well, I never talked to him. I got questions, and at first I didn't even know it was from him. It was from Toy Collector, and I was like, okay, I know that Toy Collector. I've got a few of their issues, but yes, very interesting questions. very interesting on the Flipboard side. Okay, so I think that I dare I say, Jay, I'm so proud of this thing. I think that this is going to be one of the best figures in the 5.5-inch scale. Okay, it's going to be
bold.
I think it's bold, but I've been working with Ace real hard, and I've just been just specifying and just super anal on this figure because I need it to be perfect. Okay, I needed to pass the test. So check that out. And if you go to the Flipboard Kickstarter page, we also made a limited run of coins and signed art prints as well.
Ooh.
Once they're out, they're out. Okay. We had a lot of people asking us, like, they're going to be 11 by 17 prints. They're in colored by the genius Johnny Maxwell, who did a great job.
He's great. He's really good. We give him crap, but he's an incredible artist.
He is a great artist, and that's a fun print. And then you get a coin and you get a pin, and again, it's a limited run as well. And that's it. That's my shameless self plug.
I love it. And fully in support of all the shameless plugs. Love Pixel Dan as well. Just spent almost like 2 hours talking Motu with him on the episode that posted last week on Toy Geeks Pod. This week I'm editing it right now. Actually, got to make sure I keep it tight tonight because I still have like 40 minutes. It's a almost 2 hour episode tomorrow morning. Is going to drop with Nate Barch, the fantastic artist who does a lot of the. He's an in-house artist for Four Horsemen, but also has done some incredible stuff with Motu, including designing the Classics Grayskull, doing the art for the Origins Grayskull. We had Dan Larson and I had the best time with Nate. We recorded last week, but that episode is dropping tomorrow morning, so definitely go subscribe to that. And of course, check out all the other streams of all our friends, Toy Anxiety, the Craig and them, where they were in an LA for Ghostbusters Day, so I'm sure they have great stories to share. But yeah, definitely everybody check out everything everywhere all at once. And that's it, everyone. Thank you so much. Hold on, there we go. That's it. We'll see y'all next time. Patrons, we'll see you in After Dark. I'll talk about Ghostbusters Day. Patter, get some rest, my friend. And until next time, hasta luego.
Bye-bye.